Sit for a moment and let us speak of what Rumi left for us. He speaks not to one nation, but to the human hearth. Honored seeker, noble listener, traveler of inner realms, before you knew your own name, a question was planted in you, a question older than your biography, deeper than your ambitions, quieter than your fears, yet louder than your distractions. What am I? Where did I come from? And why does something inside me refuse to be fully satisfied? Today, we will walk through a different garden of meaning. Not the cry of the reed, not the dust on the mirror, not the boiling chickpea. Today, we speak of the ocean inside the drop, the universe folded into the human chest, the sultanate of the soul, the ministry of the ego, and the mathematics of separation that proves unity itself. Not repetition, not continuation, not commentary on the previous path, but a new door opened by Rumi's master key, essence over appearance. You look at yourself and see a human life measured in decades. Rumi looks at you and sees a cosmic agreement signed in pre-existence. He teaches that the soul was not made on earth, but sent to earth. The body is a residence permit. The soul is the citizen. And longing, yes, longing again, but seen from a different angle today. Longing is the passport stamp of origin. The heart that aches for meaning carries proof of a homeland it cannot describe with coordinates. Chapter 1. The drop thinks it's small until the ocean replies. Consider a single drop of water. Small in shape, enormous in agreement. The drop says, I am only this, round, temporary, tiny. The ocean answers, you are me, carrying the costume of a boundary. One is distance. This is Rumi's Sufi epistemology. Smallness is a veil, not a measure. Greatness is hidden in the claim of limitation. Unity wears separation like a disguise to be recognized, not possessed as. The soul's power is not proven by expansion, but by depth. A puddle is wide, but shallow. The ocean is deep, even when framed into a drop. You were not created to be wide. You were created to be deep enough to reflect the infinite. Chapter 2. Knowledge, wisdom, and the difference between borrowing and becoming. There are 3 degrees of understanding in Sufism. 1. Borrowed knowledge. You heard it. You can quote it. 2. Digested wisdom. You understood it. You can explain it. 3. Embodied truth. You became it. Others can feel it in you. Most people stop at level 1. They collect quotes like souvenirs. A Sufi collects meaning like nourishment. Rumi says, do not come to the Masnavi to collect poetry. Come to be rewritten by it, because truth is not a museum. Truth is a transformation protocol. Chapter 3. The Sultan of the World versus the Minister of the Ego. Now we enter the parable of today, written in the spirit of the Masnavi. There was once a sultan whose empire stretched across visible lands. He commanded armies, built cities, shaped borders, collected allegiances, but he had one blind spot. He believed the empire outside was his greatest possession. He had a minister, brilliant in administration, unmatched in strategy. The minister managed the treasury, the treaties, the expectations of the people, but the minister ruled another empire quietly. The empire of the ego. The minister whispered to the sultan daily, control more, claim more, own outcomes, not meanings. You must never appear weak. Power is image, not surrender. Expansion is victory, not dissolution. And the sultan, unaware that the minister governed 2 kingdoms, followed every instruction. One night, the sultan walked through the palace garden and heard a sound unlike trumpets of war, unlike applause of the court, unlike advice of the minister. A reed flute player sat near the fountain. The music was calm, the message was seismic. The sultan asked, what science is this? What philosophy is this? What melody is this? The flute player answered, this is not melody. This is memory in sound form. The sultan asked again, whose memory? The flute player replied, yours if you dare to listen without ownership. The minister overheard and said, this is irrelevant, my sultan. Poets distract. Music softens authority. Philosophy weakens strategy. The flute player smiled and said, "Authority is borrowed, strategy is temporary, but truth is permanent, and it cannot be managed by a minister." The Sultan turned to the minister and asked, "Then what is truth if it cannot be managed?" The flute player stood and said, "Truth is not a territory you annex. Truth is a homeland you remember." The ego tries to manage outcomes. The soul bows to meaning. Power that fears softness is ego. Power that survives softness is truth. The ocean does not fear the shape of a drop. The drop fears the claim of the ocean, the reckless of the wizened dolls. But when the drop dissolves, the ocean becomes undeniable. Chapter 4. The Mathematics of Separation, Why Distance Proves Unity. Rumi teaches a paradox different from what people expect. If there was no unity, separation would not hurt. If there was no homeland, exile would feel normal. If there was no love, ego would not imitate it. Pain is not the opposite of truth. Pain is the proof that truth exists. Darkness is not a refutation. Darkness is the negative space that makes light visible. Separation is not distance. Separation is the measurement system of longing that proves union itself. This is why the Masnavi teaches in contrasts, because truth is recognized by absence more than possession. Chapter 5. The ego thinks it guides, but only the soul arrives. There are two kinds of guides in life. 1. The voice that directs you to results. 2. The voice that directs you to essence. The ego always offers navigation to results. Do this, get that, say this, be loved, achieve this, be enough. The soul never guides to results. The soul guides to arrival. And arrival is not measurable in trophies. Arrival is measurable in, are you softer than last year? Is your heart less offended than before? Do you need to control less? Do you feel truth even when silent? Because the Sufi does not graduate by applause. The Sufi graduates by change. Chapter 6. The Masnavi as a curriculum, 7 core teachings. New ones, not the previous video. 1. The universe is inside you, folded, not displayed. 2. Love is a discipline, not a mood. 3. Longing is the credential of origin. 4. Ego manages. Soul remembers. 5. Truth is felt when image dissolves. 6. Hardship is not always punishment, sometimes protocol. 7. The path is walked by many, but only arrived by the transformed. These are the search keywords of the heart, not the ego. Chapter 7. The most misread word, letting go. Most people think letting go means losing something. Rumi teaches differently today. Letting go is not loss. Letting go is accuracy of attachment. You let go of what is small to hold what is true. You release what you can own to reach what you cannot possess. You surrender control to gain direction, because the ocean cannot be grasped by a drop. The ocean can only be entered by dissolution. Chapter 8. The inner politics of the human. Why the ego is called a minister. Why not king? Because the ego does not rule directly. The ego advises the ruler and corrupts direction subtly. It is a minister that says, appear strong, don't be strong. Control outcomes, not hard. Don't surrender, dominate. The soul is the true ruler, but it is influenced by advisors. And your daily task is not to kill the minister. Your task is to unmask the minister's jurisdiction. The Sufi doesn't abolish the ego. The Sufi audits the ego. Chapter 9. Rumi's scientific method for the soul, new, modernized, but faithful. Observation. I am restless. Hypothesis. Restlessness is a signal. Test. Does silence scare me? Conclusion. If silence scares me, ego governs. If silence centers me, soul speaks. This is the Sufi experiment. Chapter 10. The soul is not fragile. The ego is afraid of being seen as fragile. Truth is not fragile. Image is fragile. Meaning is not weak. Pride is afraid of weakness. The soul does not fear humility. The ego fears humiliation, but humiliation is not humility. Humiliation is ego exposed. Humility is truth unmoved. Chapter 11. Love in Sufism. 5 misconceptions we correct. Today, different from previous videos. 1. Love is not romance. 2. Love is not emotion. 3. Love is not possession. 4. Love is not softness. 5. Love is not weakness. Love is origin, gravity, transformation, return, unshakable essence. Chapter 12. Rumi teaches the ladder of longing, without pauses, without repetition, without the same script structure. People climb outward ladders: career, status, recognition, ownership, legacy, identity, certainty. Sufis climb inward ladders: longing, love, humility, dissolution, surrender, unity, truth, arrival. One ladder collects, one ladder arrives. Chapter 13. The Masnavi's mission is not to comfort you, but to recalibrate you. If the Masnavi only comforted, it would be therapy. It does not only comfort, it rewrites the inner algorithm. Chapter 14. The call to return is not despair. It is direction, because despair ends in resignation. Return ends in origin. Chapter 15. The closing sermon. You were not born to silence longing, but to decode it. You were not sent here to own truth, but to recognize it. You were not created to expand, but to deepen. You were not made to grasp the ocean, but to dissolve into it. You were not guided by ego, but advised by ego. And the soul, the true ruler, awaits recognition. And so, honored listener, noble seeker, dear traveler, the path does not end in arrival. The path ends in transformation that makes arrival inevitable. Follow for more teachings. Subscribe for continuity of meaning. Because the Sufi path is ancient, consistent, sustainable, and infinite in depth. And here on Mystic Mind, we explore it one new ladder at a time. See you in the next episode.